How are you doing? Don't know where to start today because, what I'm trying to do is put a lot of things together. And I have talked about, of course, aliens and how these fallen angels that have been on this earth forever, since the beginning, have always appeared in various forms. In the past, they have appeared as gods, mainly as gods. And then there was a time, when during Jesus's time, they knew exactly that about demons and how demons enter people and cause even sickness. And Jesus healed the sicknesses by casting out the demons. So we know about the demons, not just the fallen angels. And then we learn in the New Testament, that these angels, fallen angels, Satan or the dragon, were cast out of heaven permanently, the place where God is, and were cast on this earth. Or at least in this reality, and they had to make a home here. They didn't have the chance to move back and forth from this world to the next dimension, what we traditionally call heaven. But people, make no mistake. This word heaven, or this place heaven, was described by human beings that were extremely, not knowledgeable. Okay, they didn't have as much information as we do today. And remember what God told Daniel. He said, knowledge will increase. And that is not necessarily something bad. We cannot just ignore it and say, well, we're going to stay on a level of information like 2,000 years ago, or even 4,000 years ago, or even 6,000 years ago. We need to increase in knowledge. And as we increase in knowledge, we can understand prophecy better, and that's why God said it. Okay? God said it for that purpose. Because he said, it's not for you to know right now, but knowledge will increase. In other words, people will have more knowledge, and then they will understand prophecy. They will understand the signs of the time. So increase of knowledge is not something bad, but it is actually something that is extremely good for us. Because knowledge increases also our understanding of who these entities are. During the Enlightenment, which is really the time after the Reformation, the Enlightenment started. And people started, of course, to collect knowledge about things that were previously hidden. Remember, or maybe I have to tell you, but the Catholic Church controlled all knowledge during the time of their reign, which is before the Reformation. The Catholic Church controlled all knowledge. They locked it up. They did not want people to acquire this knowledge. They want people to stay in darkness. That's why it's called the Dark Ages. Okay? That's why it's called the Dark Ages. It's not because it was dark, but because knowledge was taken from them, was kept from them. They were kept stupid in order for them to be controlled, in order for them to be brainwashed, yeah, manipulated, scared, because that's the big thing. When people don't know anything, they're scared. They can be scared. They can be manipulated through fear. They can be kept on a very low, human low level. And that's what they wanted. Practically living as almost like animals. And then when the Enlightenment came, people acquired more knowledge. And the knowledge came into the hands of regular people. For instance, the Roman Catholic Church did not allow the regular people to read the Bible. So they didn't translate it into the common language. It was all in Latin. People couldn't read. And they were kept from reading. Only the monks and, priests, they could read. So the knowledge was kept, controlled, and locked away. And the regular people had no access to it. They were used as, work animals. Remember that. Now, I need to say these things for you to understand where I'm going. Because there are so many people that are still allowing themselves to be stuck on a very low human level. Now, I am not saying that knowledge always makes us more enlightened, because we can have all kinds of lies, and that's exactly what would happen next when the Vatican knew they would lose control. Now they put all kinds of information, false information, into the hands of human beings. Because human beings, now they had information. They could check out information, but they didn't take the time to do it. They still were too busy working and then coming home and relaxing. So, yes, then what the Vatican could do, or Satan, and remember, Vatican is used by Satan, to do his dirty work. So they flooded human beings, of course, with all kinds of lies, and that's what we have today. But where I'm going is these fallen angels that have been here deceiving humankind from the beginning. We know that Adam and Eve was deceived, not just Eve. Okay? And Paul says something about Eve was deceived. Or the question is, was that not maybe a question? Because if you put it as a question, was Eve deceived? Was only Eve deceived? Or was Adam not deceived? Then you should be coming to that conclusion that no, Adam was just as much deceived as Eve. And today men are just as much deceived as women. I would even think, because there are more men leading, there is more deception coming from men than women. But the problem is the deception. We are being deceived even now. Knowledge has opened. We can, or we could, let's put it that way, we could really acquire knowledge. Now that the internet is here, we have knowledge on our really fingertips. At home, we don't have to go to libraries and research. We have it right on the finger. It's in the computer. But what we also have is misinformation. And the misinformation is really, really overwhelming. And who is using it? It's the fallen angels. The fallen angels who have always been here. And with the Enlightenment, we were actually then told or got to the point, because we have more information now, that these entities, these demons and Satan does not exist. It's all a myth. However, these entities had to continue. They work now underground, okay, in the shadow, with our governments, with our officials, with the Vatican, of course. Why? Because they are deceiving humankind. Now, at this point, we need to also understand, because I always have new subscribers, new viewers that don't understand the difference between fallen angels and demons. Because there is such thing, difference between fallen angels and demons. Fallen angels are exactly that. They're fallen angels. They're angels that rebelled against God with Satan, with the dragon, and they were kicked out of heaven in Revelation 12. Those are demons. They're entities that God created, and unfortunately, they were serving God and then rebelled. Demons are different. Now, let me add something else to these angels. Angels, as you know from accounts in the Bible, true angels, can materialize, and I call it materialize, on this world. They're spiritual beings. They are from other dimensions. They were created in other dimensions. And a dimension is, again, this place that people in the past called heaven. It's not in this plane, and it's not three-dimensional world, but it's in the other in another dimension. Without physical, it's energy. Okay, maybe that's a good way to put it. It's nothing but energy. We are energy as well. The energy here in this dimension manifests itself as material things. Okay, things that we can touch. We think we can touch. Let's put it that way. We can smell, we can see. This is our world. It's our 3 or 4 dimensional world when we count time as one dimension. And we human beings are here, and these fallen angels are from another dimension. They're spiritual. They're only, when you say spiritual, it's energy. They're energy. Some people call them energy beings. Okay? Energy beings. So when they come into this world and they want to be seen, they can materialize. They can take human form. Just like the regular angels, the fallen angels can take human form. Now, let's go to demons. Demons are also spirits or souls. Okay, I use it souls because they're the souls of dead giants, dead Nephilims, and not just human giants, but they were, remember, the hybrids of human women and the fallen angels. Before the flood, I don't care how people interpret it. No, it has nothing to do with interpretation. It has to do with truth. And the truth is that these fallen angels came down and had children with human women. And these children were giants or hybrids. They were created by the fallen angels. I don't know how they did it. They are spiritual beings. How in the world can they then have children? Okay? But biologically, maybe, again, the knowledge that has continued may help you. That maybe these fallen angels tampered with, the DNA of humankind and implanted, a fertile egg into these women. It doesn't say that. Why? Because the people would have not understood it anyways during Noah's time. What happened, how these women got pregnant. But the fact was they got impregnated by these fallen angels. Okay, I'm going to say it that way. They got impregnated by these fallen angels. How? You need to think about it. And if you don't want to think about it, don't assume things. I can assume things, but that's not the truth. Okay? So anyways, they got impregnated and had these hybrid human beings. They were not human beings anymore. The DNA was changed. They became the giants or the Nephilims. But because they were not human, okay, their soul was also an in-between between human and fallen angels. So now these hybrids, cannot also not go into heaven. They also really don't die. Okay? They have to look for a host over and over. And so then they come into human body and they can cause pretty bad things, like sickness. Okay? Like sickness. And of course, during the enlightened time, we said, oh no, these demons don't exist. This is all made up. Okay? But we know Jesus healed people by casting out demons. Or he cast out demons because these people were crazy. Yeah? Like the ones he cast out and went into swines. These people, they were nuts. Okay? Now, what would we call these people today? These people that had these demons that then went into the swine and went crazy and went into the ocean. We call them schizophrenic. So the question is, if these demons cause sicknesses, they cause mental illness. Of course, we today say, oh, these mental illnesses are schizophrenia and bipolar and all these other, multi-personal personality disorders, which now is called dissociative disorder. Okay? Yeah, we have all these names, and then what do? We give them medication to numb them up, so these demons cannot totally use the body as they would. So we put them on a damper, okay, on a damper, so these demons cannot misuse the person. Now, is that working for those people? Okay, or is that just, putting a Band-Aid on the solution? Well, today I want to introduce to you this video that I saw, which was really amazing, okay? Because, see, I have been talking so much about alien, because these entities, whether they're demons or whether they are fallen angels, are nowadays coming as aliens, okay? Because we have dismissed them as anything else. We're dismissing them now as causing mental illness or sickness. And I saw this video, and the channel is Carmen Stutter Mirror. That's what and it's on BitChute. And she talks about schizophrenic healing victory with Cherry Marcinski and Annan Omus. That's what the video is called. And she's talking to this psychotherapist retired psychotherapist, has lots of experience working, of course, with the mental ill and schizophrenics, and has come to the conclusion that they are caused by entities. He calls them entities, people. Okay? He uses Christianity or Christianese, but he is not really a born-again believer. He's not really following Jesus. Both of these people that are being interviewed, and I'm not even sure about Carmen either. She is also talking Christianese, and I have listened to her before. But these people are more New Age. This guy is talking about, yes, energy people or energy entities that are robbing people of energy, okay, of energy. So they're connecting themselves to the energy of those people, and they're trying to really destroy them. And this one guy, this Annan, he was somebody who also was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and realized that there was something else behind it, and he really describes it very, very well. Very well. But again, people, I hope when you found my videos on my channel, that you are very well grounded in the Bible, that you follow only Jesus. And if you do, then you need to evaluate these things according to the Bible. There is lots of information in this. I mean, lots of factual information. This guy had an experience, and however this guy went to other sources beside the Bible to figure out where these voices that he had came from. Okay? He talks a lot about Gnosticism, which we know has nothing to do with true following Jesus, true Christianity or following Jesus. Okay? It's a different thing. But even they explain these entities in certain ways because they existed. They existed in the Egyptian culture. They existed in the past as these entities that then when we went into the enlightened phase were considered myth. Okay? And so we put them away. So today, we are so enlightened that we say, all these mental illnesses, of course, are caused by chemical imbalances. And people, this is not the only video I have been watching lately. I watch these things. The Holy Spirit is leading me and putting these things together. I had one video, and I don't remember exactly where it was, where they clearly said that these mental illnesses, and maybe it was even in this video, okay, mental illnesses are not really caused, like schizophrenia is really not caused by an imbalance in the brain. Okay, they show clearly that serotonin really has nothing to do with depression or whatever. Okay, and then you ask yourself, what is causing it? Okay, what really is causing it? And I think I need to stop here. So yeah, this is then, the question, what is causing these mental illnesses, or a lot of them? Probably not all of them, because some of them are clearly caused by, I don't know what, people just having traumatic experiences and they can't handle them. They have no hope in life. Maybe that's how it starts. And they also said that these entities attach themselves to people that are weak, okay, and psychologically weak, not just physically worn out, worn down, immune system down. There is a great amount of fear there. That's when these entities attack you. I don't want to say possess you, because eventually, yes, it is a possession. Because listen to this guy, what's his name again? Anon. Listen to this Anon. It was really, he was struggling with this entity, trying to take over him. And when you allow it, okay, then that's what's going to happen. And then that's when we have, of course, a full-fledged demon possession. That's what we used to call demon possession. Jesus called it demon possession. And then we need to think about, okay, what are really demons? Are they the fallen angels, or are they really the spirits, of course, of these hybrids, human hybrids, that really cannot die, their soul cannot die, and they depend on a host to continue doing their bad deeds. Because, see, this is why God destroyed the world. It's because not only humankind was evil during or before Noah's, before the flood, but these created beings, these Nephilims, were extremely evil. And they didn't just do that with human beings. They also did it with animals. And so all these animals that these Nephilims created, these hybrid animals, they had to also be destroyed in the flood. That's why the flood came. Now, yeah, people, they can think, oh, this is all normal, catastrophic events that come so many years. But God put that in the plan. When he created this world, he wrote the, what do you call that? The plan, the computer program. That's what it is. He wrote the computer program. See, we are so much further today in our thinking than like 6,000 years ago or 4,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago. We now have an understand really closer to how God created this world. And it's not just a bunch of just dirt and how people 6,000 years ago could explain it. It was created way, way, way different than these people could even imagine. But when we are understanding how virtual environments are created, and really that this universe is nothing but electric. We're calling it electric universe. Now, I know I have people that believe in the flat earth. But really, we need to get out of this mindset, this two-dimensional mindset. Because we're not even a three-dimensional or four-dimensional times. The other dimensions are far beyond our flat, which is flat, is two-dimensional people. Okay? We are far beyond that created, or God is far beyond that. So this world is far beyond it. I'm not saying that, even the earth is round. I have no idea what the earth is. No idea. It's a virtual created world. That's what it is. It's a world that comprehending using the data we have today is still hard to comprehend because we're only then getting to a certain level. And we cannot really understand how God created this world. And that's why, we should not shy away from understanding what it means that we have an electric universe or electric world, that everything is electric, and that there are wavelengths, and we know that, okay? There's frequencies that we don't even understand. Like we understand, for instance, music, and we know that there's different frequencies. And matter of fact, I'm just listening to this video by Rex Bear, a leak project. I listen to him once in a while, depending on the topic, because he is a new ager too. He is really, investigating in everything, religious, biblical, everything. New Age, he investigates in everything. Okay, he is like unbelievable in what he has investigated over many years, and I've known him or listened to him for at least 10 years. So he was also talking about these frequency with David Dubain, who I also once in a while listen again, and these people are New Agers, okay? But these New Agers understand about frequencies and energy, okay? Electrical energy or energy and waves. Like, for instance, if you don't understand what I'm saying, you know about music, and that music vibrates in different, I don't even understand it very well, but in different wavelengths. And this Rex Bear explained it very well in this video. And I will put it on the bottom because even that is a great information to understand really what's going on today. Okay? With these entities that we, because of the Enlightenment, have put away and says, oh no, they don't exist. They don't exist. Sorry about the sun. I try to pull things down, but I think I'm going to put it all the way down. Yeah, I think that is better because the sun even reflect on the floor and just totally did shine in my face. So yeah, this Rex Bear kind of helps us understand what these wavelengths are. I said with the music. People should understand, and they were talking about the different music, how it affects our body. And we should know that, okay? We should know how these different musics affect our body. And of course, they were talking about chakras, which is totally New Age, right? But this is how they have collected so much information, but unfortunately, they didn't look at it through the Bible, through what the Bible says. And so they went totally crazy with it. Okay? Or they have no more direction. If you don't have one gauge that you go by, you're just totally all over, and you don't interpret your information correctly. Sometimes we just need to leave information standing the way it is. Okay? That's important too. If we cannot put it in the right category according to the Bible. And that's important. These people that are out there and say, oh, well, this is all non-biblical and we need to throw it out. That is wrong. That is wrong. Okay? Why? I'll tell you why. Because the Christians have been maybe put back into slavery for a long time. In my last video, I talked about, how the Protestants in the United States just went their busy way, making money, power, and that was their concern, right? How they can acquire these things, and they didn't really follow Jesus. Okay? It's just name Protestants. And so how they actually lost influence in the politics, in all these areas, and let the Catholics take over. Okay? And so they not only lost in these areas, but they lost in science. Okay? And so many people say, oh, science, we need to get away from science because that's not biblical. No. Science is observation, is observing the world. When I, as a Christian, give up observing the world, how in the world can I then tell others how things are? If I have lost the ability to observe. When I lose the ability to observe and I say, hey, I don't want to see anything, that is pretty bad. It's very bad. Okay? Because I know I have a lot of people that say, oh, that's, science has nothing to do with the Bible. No. Actually, science is only a way to observe nature. And not only nature, but also the Bible. When you study the Bible, you need to apply scientific methods, okay, to actually observe and study the Bible. If you don't do that, you build everything on opinion. And we don't need opinion, or we build everything on interpretation. And interpretation, people, is false. Okay? So, but going back to these entities that are here today, and they're not just coming to us as aliens, but they have been coming to us, like, for instance, these demons, in form of sicknesses, like in this video, schizophrenia and other mental illnesses. I am a licensed professional counselor, and people, I have dealt with mental illness. I have worked in the prison system with mental ill people, okay? And you actually start questioning if these people really are not demon-possessed. I have worked with the worst people, mentally ill people in prison. I had to monitor them, because psychiatrists, right, are rare because they cost so much money, and they're only seeing their patients, every month or so, or 2 months, and give them prescribed medication. And then the mental health clinician is the one that's monitoring these people. And that's what I did. I worked with some really crazy people. Unbelievable. I mean, I had one that ate his poop. And wow, how can somebody do that? I'm sorry I had to say that. But it's true. These people are unbelievable, okay? And this is when you ask yourself, really, and this guy woke me up again. Okay, I got his book actually, Jerry Marcinski. I got his book, and I know he is New Ager, but his observations are spot on. And then when we compare that to the Bible, then we can say, wait a minute, what are we doing today? What have we been lied to? Of course, again, what does that go back to? To pharma, right? Lied to us about these sicknesses, mental illnesses, and all they do is give them pharmaceuticals to numb them up. Not really, to heal them. Okay? Because this guy is interested in healing. And of course, people, he's using Psalm, 23? Said, oh, that the demons have to run. No, the demons run from Jesus. Okay? Not from the Psalm 23. But 23 is what? Is addressing Jesus. The Lord is my shepherd. When I say that, the Lord, they know who that Lord is. They know that is Jesus, and they run from Jesus. And we heard that before, that any of these alien abductions, they mention Jesus or even sing a song, a Christian song. These aliens have to run. Okay? These abductions stop. And this is what this guy is saying. You have to resist them. Okay? And it's very, very hard if you are not a Christian, if you are a true believer, and you're saying, I'm going to follow Jesus, period. That's not what these people did. But you want to follow Jesus. Then these people have no more grip on you. Because this whole thing is really not a thing of, you don't heal somebody because it is really an imbalance. And they also say that, yeah, these medications may be good for a start, but I believe, from my experience, they're only good until the person actually puts skills in place. And that's what I always knew about depression, anxiety, anything. That the medication is not resolving anything. You have to put skills in place, okay, to deal with your problems, no matter what it is. You got depression, deal with the problem and, and saying, wait a minute, what am I doing here? And that's much more important than taking medication. Medication may be okay for a time being, or even if the people don't want to work. Okay? Then maybe medication is necessary when somebody is really, going crazy. So, I know for person, she, was in a psychotic break, and did she hear voices, or she thought she was even Antichrist at one point? And she ran away from home, and she went to the airport and got a ticket, had her little kids at home with her husband, wanted to go fly to Germany to her grandmother. And when that happens, then you have to say, okay, medication is something you need. But then you need to start on the skills. And think about, what am I going to put in place? This is what's going on. Okay? This is what's going on. And I'm going to have to be ready to fight these entities. And the guys were talking about hearing voices. Okay? Hearing voices. And they're real. This guy was saying these voices are real. It's not something somebody makes up. Why are they real? Because there are real entities behind those voices. Now, these things that they're seeing may be, what is real, people? Okay? What is real? Is an abduction real? When aliens abduct somebody, they say, oh, this is anyways, really maybe a psychological thing. Are they real? What is real? Okay? Is this real, what I'm seeing here? Is this real? Again, we need to think about, how is this world created? It's energy. And that is true. Everything is energy. And these people, they feed on energy. So people, I just want to give you that information. I wanted to do a short video, but again, this video got longer than what I wanted it. But watch these two videos, okay? I'm going to add them. I'm going to put them in the comment section, not the comment section, the description box. Because people, it is so important. It's so important that we have this information. Of course, you can just close your eyes, go in your little room, close the door, and believe that the world is flat, and get stuck on a level of thinking that people had 6,000 years ago. You can do that, okay? And yeah, you can even believe, yeah, Jesus is coming soon. I don't know if you're going to do that, but you can totally stay in your own world. And I don't know. I don't know if that works for you. You know, if this world is so scary for you, maybe that's what you need to do. Because that's what it is boiling down to. When people don't want to wake up. Because, see, then are they awake for other things? Because what's happening today politically? They're still then believing because they're in denial. And if they're in denial about one thing, they're in denial about other things. We want to wake up. Okay? We don't want the New Agers only to be awake. Because they are awake, people. Okay? They're awake. And then we're pointing the finger on them and saying, oh, they're in connection with Satan. But these people are more aware about Satan and these entities than any of these fake Christians are. Fake Christians. They're realizing that the things that we're experiencing, the sickness that we are experiencing is related to these entities. Many, many times they're related to these entities. And for me, it was important that I did listen, that God, the Holy Spirit, led me to this video. Even though these two people, are, New Agers. I'll call them New Agers. And it's not a negative thing, believe me. It's just a way of thinking or a way of perceiving the world. But anyways, again, I even got the book by this guy because I want to find out. Of course, like I said, I'm a retired licensed professional counselor, and that used to be my profession, so I want to know, because I think the more information we have, the better equipped we are to help people. The better equipped we are to help people, and how to work with them in their disabilities or in their illnesses. I'm coming to an end. I hope I covered everything, but it's a longer video again. Let the Holy Spirit guide you always.